Welcome to Travel Nation today. You're about to witness history in the making. A spiritual revolution is underway in the heart of Rome. The Vatican has a new leader, Pope Leo XIV, formerly Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, and this moment marks a profound shift not just for the Catholic Church, but for global geopolitics, interfaith dialogue, and the future of spirituality. Why? Because Pope Leo XIV is the first American-born pope in the 2,000-year history of the Catholic Church. In this journey, we dive deep, not just into his biography, but into the ancient rituals of the papal conclave, the symbolism behind his name, the challenges he faces, and the seismic impact this could have across continents. Let's travel through time, faith, and diplomacy to uncover what this new papacy means. Chapter 1. From Chicago's streets to the throne of St. Peter. Born in 1956 in Chicago, Robert Prevost grew up in a working-class neighborhood surrounded by immigrant communities. He was raised in a deeply Catholic environment, influenced by a mix of Italian, French, and Spanish heritage. Even as a boy, Robert was known for his humility, quiet strength, and academic excellence. He earned a degree in mathematics before taking an unexpected path. He joined the Order of St. Augustine in 1977. This wasn't just a vow of celibacy and poverty. It was a total commitment to service and spiritual discipline. His superiors saw leadership potential early. But Prevost didn't climb the church's hierarchy the conventional way. Instead, he went on a decades-long missionary journey that would shape his soul and the church's future. Chapter 2. Peru. Where a pope was formed, Prevost was sent to Trujillo, Peru, where he immersed himself in one of Latin America's most vibrant yet underserved Catholic communities. He mastered Spanish, led the Augustinian seminary, lived among the poor, and became a Peruvian citizen. In time, he was appointed Bishop of Chiclayo, where he gained a reputation for transparency, moral clarity, and pastoral compassion. What made him different? He wasn't interested in grandeur or clerical elitism. He was a street priest, a teacher, a listener. He stood up to corruption, welcomed the indigenous and Afro-Peruvian communities, and took bold stands on social justice. This wasn't ambition, it was mission. Chapter 3. Rise in the Vatican. Power behind the scenes. In 2023, Pope Francis brought Prevost to Rome as the prefect of the dicastery for bishops. This position may sound bureaucratic, but it's one of the most powerful roles in the Catholic hierarchy. As prefect, Prevost was responsible for overseeing the appointment of bishops across the globe, a role that allowed him to shape the Church's leadership from the inside. He embraced Pope Francis's reforms: decentralization, diversity, inclusion. He carefully studied cultures, selected pastoral-minded bishops, and focused on unity. His calm demeanor, academic intelligence, and missionary roots made him a trusted advisor to the pontiff. By 2024, whispers inside the Vatican suggested that if a conclave were to occur, Prevost would be among the leading candidates. Chapter 4. The conclave, smoke, secrets, and a new beginning. When Pope Francis announced his retirement due to health reasons, the world turned its eyes to the Sistine Chapel. 133 cardinals gathered in secrecy under the frescoes of Michelangelo, surrounded by centuries of tradition and modern global tension. After 4 votes, on May 8, 2025, white smoke rose above Vatican City. The crowd cheered. Bells tolled. The Cardinal Protodeacon appeared on the balcony and uttered the iconic phrase, "Habemus Papam." We have a pope. When Robert Prevost stepped onto the balcony as Pope Leo XIV, the world was stunned, and then deeply moved. Here was a man who had lived in the barrios of Peru, a man with Chicago grit and Latin American tenderness, now wearing the white cassock of the Holy Father. Chapter 5. Why the name Leo XIV? Choosing the name Leo sent a deliberate signal. Previous popes Leo, especially Leo XIII, were known for their intellectual clarity and social encyclicals. Leo XIII addressed labor rights, socialism, and modern society. Prevost's choice reflects a continuation of those values: advocacy for the poor, the dignity of work, and faith in a time of global polarization. He is not trying to be radical, but realistic. A pope for a world facing climate collapse, wealth inequality, and spiritual confusion. Chapter 6. Global Impact. America, Latin America, and beyond. For America, the election of one of its own sends shockwaves. While the U.S. has long held global political influence, the Catholic Church remained primarily a European institution. Now, that dynamic shifts. Prevost could redefine how America relates to the Vatican, not as a power broker, but as a spiritual participant in global faith. For Latin America, his election is equally meaningful. Prevost is practically Peruvian by heart and citizenship. He understands liberation theology, indigenous identity, and post-colonial struggles. Latin America feels seen, heard, and respected. For Africa and Asia, Pope Leo XIV represents the hope that the Global South's voice will be elevated in Catholic leadership. His first appointments are expected to reflect this, promoting cardinals and bishops from Nigeria, the Philippines, India, and Brazil. Chapter 7. What comes next? Pope Leo XIV will need to address a host of difficult challenges: clergy abuse scandals. He must enforce stricter accountability and reform canon law. Secularism. In Europe and North America, church attendance is in sharp decline. Women in the church. There's growing pressure to expand roles for women, possibly even as deacons. LGBTQ+ inclusion. A balancing act between tradition and modernity. Interfaith dialogue, particularly with Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, and rising African religions. Artificial intelligence and ethics. The Church will need to address transhumanism, AI, and biotechnology under his watch. His first papal encyclical is expected to focus on healing and harmony, drawing from both his Peruvian mission work and his mathematical logic. Chapter 8. A pilgrimage of hope. Already, Pope Leo XIV has made clear he will not reign from a throne, but walk among the people. His first official visit is rumored to be not to Europe, but to Africa, perhaps Nigeria or the Democratic Republic of Congo, to meet the continent's youngest and fastest growing Catholic populations. He also plans to return to Peru as a pope, to kneel in the same chapel where he once gave seminary lectures, proving that humility remains his compass. Final thoughts. A new era of the papacy. The Vatican is no longer just a relic of the Renaissance. It is now led by a man who understands both ancient rituals and the hopes of a new generation. Pope Leo XIV is not merely a first. He is a fusion of worlds, north and south, intellect and spirit, tradition and progress. This is not just about a man. It's about a message that the Church can still evolve, reach new hearts, and lead with courage in the modern age. Thank you for traveling with us today on Travel Nation as we witness the dawn of a papal era that will echo through history. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth global journeys, powerful stories, and deep dives into the crossroads of culture, faith, and politics. See you at our